Hey guys, good evening. Let me know how we're looking. What's up, Taj, Inflow, Blanco Kennel, long time. No C, I don't believe. Zimmy, John, Gary, what's going on? I've been here at my desk adding these lessons, so not very prepared for tonight's broadcast, but I think it's kind of important. So we're going to give a few more minutes here for somebody to come in. Anybody got any questions or anything? We can go through some of them now. I picked up some nice poison ivy over the weekend. Still sitting here itching. Got a little bit on my face, my chin. I think Nick gets back Saturday, so I don't think he tweeted much today. I didn't see him much. So we're going to jump in here. Not much to say on coin market cap. 249 billion. Bitcoin up fractional. Ripple up 1.69. EOS 5.17. Litecoin showing a little bit of strength today. 3.54%. I know everybody's getting tired of that. Monero 6.29%. VeChain 3.1. OMG down 1.78. Decred down 3.5. So again, we're just going to go through some of this quick. I kind of wanted to explain the lessons I added. I've been talking about it. What's up, Joshua? Let's flip over to the charts. I mentioned last night, I think last night we were getting off the broadcast when we were down around 6,000. We spent forever trading a little bit off of that. Spiked the low today. I mean, to stay bullish, you got to call this now the 1-2. We need to really have strength from here. I mean, what, about 15 minutes ago, we did make an afternoon high up here at 61.80, right back to 61.25. So again, a little bit not liking the action here in the last 15 minutes. We're going to go over, what's up, Johnny Cool? Let's look at Classic. I know Dash went to a new low. Classic, a 1-2 there. That one still acts pretty well. I'd hate to see 1420, 1430 again on these things. Ethereum went down and tagged its low at 420. Came back to 445. That one as well acting a little heavy. Litecoin just made an 81.60 or so. So nice recovery from the 75 and the previous 73. And then we got Ripple 47 coming off the 45 level. So not much new to talk about in the coins. We need strength from here. The Bitcoin, I said last night I didn't want to see a 59.40 overlap. Now I really don't want to see a 59.75 either. If so, then maybe we're going to go down and tag, below 57.25. I'm not sure it would really lead to a 5,000 print. Maybe just a minor new low again until we can finally get these things going higher. I'll try to check out WAN here when we come back. TRX, Zcash. Yeah, I'm solo tonight. Nick is on vacation with his girlfriend. Be back here Monday night. I'm trying to hold down the fort. Been talking about adding courses for the software. Let's bring this in. Sorry guys, I got some poison ivy and it's really itchy. So I just added 3 lessons to the course. So if you own the course, you're going to have free access to that. I've reordered them. So now lesson 19 is the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index and the Optimism Pessimism Index. As you guys should know, the OP has nothing more than a 5-minute, somewhat unbalanced volume. So every 5 minutes we're taking a reading. And If the crypto index or any coin is plus in the last 5 minutes, that's considered plus volume. If it's down, it's considered down volume. The software, once again, Vladimir's actually, they're working right now on a few things, but I think we're getting really close. Some of you have seen this chart before. This is the WWCI, which is the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index. So again, this is a lesson. I'm just going to kind of run down through these real quick. This shows the index. This is, I believe, 7 coins that we put together a few months back. Here's the OP. These are daily readings. Then you have the force. Now the OP is more of speculative interest. The force is more investor, more of a longer term push and pull on the market. And the technometer, 50 is a sell, 36 is a buy, is kind of the ranges that we'll go into a lot more details on YouTube broadcasts and also for students that own the course. But I think everybody, to understand a lot of things I'm going to talk about with the software, you're going to need to probably go over these lessons. So if you click 5 minutes up here on the 5 minute, it'll bring up a 5 minute chart. So this would be an intraday showing every movement on the crypto index. And again, Bitcoin and all these coins will have the same thing. That's the only chart in crypto currently. I'm not sure what that means. Then we've got the point and figure chart. So the point and figure charts are going to work if we're looking at, like Zen is trading at 17 or a whole round figure. Some of these are going at 8 decimal points. I don't know if that's going to cause my guys much issue. Hopefully not. And then as we thumb down through the lesson, we just talk about, you can add some volume to the bottom if you'd like. And then a few things I want to talk about tonight. We're also showing basically how the OP works, which it just takes every 5 minutes and adds it to the line chart. And then what happens, this lesson is just on the OP and the price chart. So what happens here is, and again, guys, I made a note, these charts are going to be from the stock charting software until I can get the crypto charts to replace these. But I need to get everybody to understand what they're looking at instead of waiting for the software to fill in and me change all this. So this is actually a Wyckoff Wave, a new index that I created. It's just showing that when the OP on a short-term basis goes to a new high and the index doesn't, or Bitcoin or any coin doesn't, that would show weakness because volume is coming in and buying, but the price will not respond. So if it compared to a previous high of maybe a few days, few weeks, or a few months, you can key off of that and let you know that we're probably testing maybe this high. Maybe this was an upthrust. So you've learned that you want to sell a test of an upthrust, especially if volume isn't high, etc. So it's just going to talk about different divergences. This is one where price goes to a new high. So maybe you'd see Bitcoin go to a new high over a 2-week span. The OP doesn't. It shows there would be no buying support behind the Bitcoin advance, so that would be bearish. Here's some other, and these are real-time charts on the stock side that I've grabbed to show how this works. Here's, once again, OP goes to a new low. This is on a short-term time basis. Price didn't. And then you're going to be able to also bring this in with the force and the technometer, which I'll show here in a moment. Because when the technometer is also oversold, that would give more credence to buying this low in price. So these are the things I think you need to have to put the odds in your favor, especially if you're day trading or a few weeks trading, to put your odds in your favor versus just saying price is testing, volume is this or that. You really need to dig deep into the volume. So Same type of thing here. Price goes to new low, volume doesn't. And it'll show you that the high credibility, the ones that normally work best, are when OP is leading. So if the OP is crashing, I've got to fix this chart, it looks like. I've got an issue there. These are showing some inharmonious actions. So again, I went through these real quick today. So also, let me see if I got some working. Now I've got to fix these. Sorry about that. This would show price going to a new high and the OP doesn't. Again, that's a sell. I've got some charts here showing. I've got to fix this when I get off today. This was just showing intraday. Price new high, OP doesn't. So that's a sell. OP new high, price doesn't. That's a sell. So these are the type of things you're going to see. And then just again, more charts to explain it all to you. Then a few quick exam questions. Then there's going to be another. Let me go to another one here. Less than 20 is going to be on the force index. When I get off here, I'm going to fix those charts that have a mistake. Bear with me because I just launched this 30 minutes ago. So this is going to be less than 20. So this is going to talk about the force reading. The last lesson was about the OP. Now we're going to talk about the force. Because again, you use these three in conjunction, OP, force, and technometer, with the price. So again, it's going to discuss the force here. We've built some sectors. We just have a privacy sector right now. I see Bitcoin's back to 61.71, firming back up. So again, these charts are just going to show different, and I apologize. For some reason these charts are flowing off of the chart here, off of my screen. I didn't see that earlier. Because what it's going to show is just divergences on force and price, and it's going to throw in the technometer. So you can see here, force went to new highs, price wasn't, and we're overbought. So that would be a sell. It's just going to show different examples. And again, it's going to show like Apple, Google, different examples until I can get these type of examples going back 3, 4, 5 months where I can throw up coin examples. But there's no difference. It's all about price, volume, and time. Here's one here where force goes to a new low, OP goes to a new low. You see the technometer is staying oversold, which told you you'd want to buy price. So this area here was showing that somebody was supporting price while selling was coming in. And that was actually Facebook. And that was a good point to buy on Facebook. Again, I can't go through the rest of these. It would just kind of labor going live here and talking about it. But, and I've given a few seminars on this. I'm giving one actually on cryptos July 12th, I think it is. So I'll keep you posted on that. That's going to be with Wyckoff Analytics. Then the Best of Wyckoff 2018 is coming up. I think it's September 1st. Then let's go back. The last lesson. Again, these are all up. You can check them out now, but you're going to have a problem looking at the charts until I go back in. Lesson 21 is the technometer. The technometer is an overbought, oversold reading. You could say it's like an RSI, but it's way more detailed, way more helpful than that. You know, in the past bull run, I had a lot of success here on the channel with Matt. That was an impulse wave. It was easy to trade at Elliott wave. Since then, we've been in a correction. Correction can take a lot of different, a lot of different avenues. ABCXs, ABCs. a lot of B waves, etc., so harder to trade. And for me, it's hard to just trade, a 2 hour, 4 hour chart unless you've got this volume. The volume's got to be from as many exchanges as you can get. So I kind of feel like I was gambling, just buying and selling. So hopefully now with the software, we can try to get the odds in our favor and really put on good risk-reward trades. So again, this chapter is kind of short. It's good enough for what I need to get across. It talks about the technometer down here being oversold. Here we're showing, this was showing that the OP and the OP went to new highs, price hadn't, and the technometer was overbought. That was telling you price was probably meeting resistance or testing the previous high. I know Coke did fall $4 or $5 from there. So just going to go over different examples of that. And then I'm going to be adding examples as the software matures over the next few months. Because if any of you went back to the course, you've seen that I've added videos. I'm trying to go back, explain things to actually see it instead of just reading it. So that's kind of just a quick update on the lessons. The course is, I've changed it, I've done it correctly. I've raised the price to $349.99, but it's on sale for $299.99, which was the price before. So I'm going to leave it at that price probably for a week. Then I am probably raising the price to $349 because there's just a lot of value there with the 3 lessons now that are added. If you don't subscribe to the software when I launch it, and again, I think it's going to be $36 a month if you're a student, maybe twice that if you're not. But even if you don't want to subscribe, I am going to use the software on these YouTube broadcasts. And I'm also going to I'm going to try to go live probably like in the mornings or around noon our time, and probably just dive into the software and take coin recommendations from people, talk about coins they want to bring it up with the software, go over it, etc. So try to provide some free value that way. Then if you like the software, you can dive in and have it yourself. So here's DGB USD. Nick did a follow-up interview with them, and I know it was really around 20 cents. Sub 20 cents. So definitely showing a little bit of strength here, short term. I think that's impressive. So I know if Nick was here, he'd like that. We do think there's probably got to be some upside in DigiBuy because it's been extremely beaten up, and there could be some upside there coming. So, what's up, G Money? So hopefully the software gives us the trades we want. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the numbers. I mean, a lot of people bought the course. I know when we was giving it, when we had the sales, I think we sold some at 150, 199, etc. A lot of people haven't gone back to it. Obviously, gotten discouraged recently, but I think you need to get back to it. I still think it's the best way to trade these markets, and consolidated volume has got to help to be able to analyze these things and to be able to put the odds in your favor. Okay, we got Fun USD. It's going to be way more exciting for me versus bringing up TradingView, looking at price with volume from like Binance. So I've told people, I got a lot of grief by trolls, I just say, oh, it looks good, it looks bad. That's because you can't say that, oh, we just had a high volume bar, rally and you need to buy because of that. Then when you looked at consolidated volume, maybe it really wasn't a high volume bar. It was just at the exchange you was looking at. So I didn't really want to get caught up in that. So I'm hoping, we'll get past that you'll see me talking, probably 75, 80% Wyckoff. I'll throw in some Elliott Wave Fibonacci as some type of confirming type indications. So there's funfair. Let's go back. 2 hours, not going to show much. Hopefully it's cleaned up its sell-off and can start some type of rally here along with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin can finally dig in here. What we got, let's look at ONT up another 6%. That chart still looks good to me. I'm guessing that was a spring and an uptrend. Maybe we've tested it, or maybe we'll try to a little bit more here. I think if you're long ONT, I think that's probably one to stick with. See waves up 10%. There's XMR up 6%. After taking a huge hit. Hold on, let me bring in, let's look at this Bitcoin chart again. This was the bearish count. I guess we're having no feed problems, possibly, hopefully. That was the most bearish count, which shows maybe, I don't see it as easy now, but maybe shows weakness of 5,000. I was looking for A, B, C, D, E. There might be a way to count it that a new low here, just a minor new low, would still be good. I'm really still leaning that I don't think we're going to 5,000. But I'm going to be a broken record if you see that, because I still say this whole movement is a correction in a bull market. So I still think we firm up from somewhere here. The key will be in the right coins that come back and the ones that don't get buried. I think to trade from here, if the software launches and nothing else, maybe, I think you'll have to be careful with that, because if we are starting an impulsive way to the upside, you wouldn't want to trade anything. You'd want to really just buy and hold. So I'm going to be very selective on trades I take, but also, if I continue to be wrong on timing, or if we trade sideways for a few more years, I'm going to be trading to take some money out of these markets. So if I see rallies with no volume, etc., then I, might like trading Ethereum maybe at 440 and get it back at 420 or 410. Just try to scalp and increase some coin positions. But yeah, you're going to have to be careful with that. Because I do think at some time a lot of people are going to miss, I saw a quote the other day, we went from 7,000 to 20,000 in 3 weeks. So you don't want to be, you don't want to watch, have Bitcoin go to 10,000 here and you're trying to trade. XRP. There's the daily. So, this is really the same type of count on Bitcoin. Really, that this might be springing the low here. If you go in more to a 2 hour. And also the 4 hour. If you're trading, I think you've got to, taking some low risk trades down here, thinking these lows are good. It's probably a good risk-reward ratio if you're trading. If you own Ripple from higher levels, then yeah, I don't think you want to get cute down here. If nothing else, for me, I think you want to go back, study the lessons, let the software launch, watch me use it, watch me discuss it, and then if I can do some short-term trades, then maybe you want to purchase the software yourself and kind of live with it. Here's Zen on the 2 hour. Clear down to 15. Possibly could run back to the 52 level maybe if we get something going here. Again, on a short-term basis, it did test its low. 16 held pretty well there, so I would think even if you bought here with the 16, you know, with a 16.05 stop for a short-term trade. But again, guys, I don't want to give those trades unless I got OP Force and Tech behind me giving me some help. So that's really really not a lot of news items down here. Jimmy Song talking about private blockchains, no sense. We had UK millennials, a fifth of them want to invest in Bitcoin versus real estate. I'd agree with that trend. Homeland Security, well, I got like $20 million, I think, of crypto from some drug dealers. I didn't see really anything we're talking about. They talked about Facebook again. I don't think there's any news really to discuss. So that's why I decided to really talk about the lessons that are added. Everyone will kind of get a feel for them before they jump in. So here's back to the 15-minute Bitcoin. Let's see if that 59.75 can hold. If not, we probably got to stab another new low and then see what happens down there. So that's all. I'm going to go back and try to fix some of these charts on the lessons and watch these markets, guys. So thanks to the 66 that are watching. I appreciate a like. If you like where I'm coming along finally with the software. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening. Peace out.